Okay, we're going to go over the practice quiz on Chapter 10, Externalities. First question, in a market economy, government intervention may improve outcomes in the presence of externalities. Government intervention, like taxes, don't help in a regular market, but in an externality, it does. Now, remember, because what else could they ask? A positive externality, the government intervention is going to be a subsidy, and a negative externality, the government intervention is going to be a tax. In both cases, you're always trying to go to the allocative efficient. You're always trying to go to the optimal. In a positive externality, the market's under allocating. So we're giving a subsidy to increase purchases. In a negative externality, the market's over allocating. So we're doing a tax to slow it down. Number two, since restored buildings convey a positive externality, local governments may choose to, all right, regulate the demolishing. By regulate, they mean slow down the demolishing of them. All right. B, provide tax breaks for owners. Yeah, so you get an incentive for owners to fix them up. Increase pro. No, you're not going to increase pro. So it's going to be D, A, and B. Don't really know any other type. The only other type of thing is, um, a historic building, say in your neighborhood. Let's forget a historic building. If someone makes their house nicer, that their property tax goes up is not an externality. But if my property tax goes up, being a third party, that is an example of a positive externality. Which of the following is an example of a positive externality? Sue not catching, no, that's what I just said with the house. Sue not catching the flu because no, that is not a third party. That's Sue paying for that vaccine not to get the flu. The answer is B as in broccoli. Mary not catching the flu from Sue because Sue got a flu vaccine. So Mary, who had nothing to do with purchasing the flu vaccine, is the third party there. All right, let me see. Could I scroll down to graph 10.8? I'm having a little trouble here. There we go. All right. Number 4. Which is the socially optimal quantity of output in the market? All right. So the first thing is where it says demand, I might put MPB. That's the marginal private value or the marginal private benefit. The second one is the marginal social, and supply could be MSC or slash MPC. Because when you buy yourself, the social cost and the private cost equal each other. Okay, so what is the socially optimal? Well, I'm looking at this, and right away I could see it is a positive externality on the consumer. All right, I said this could be MSC, right? I'm going to put MSC here. All right. Where is optimal? Optimal is where MSC and MSB, or here MSV, equal. So it's going to be 10 and 10. It's going to be D as in dog with 10 units. Now, they could ask you the price, which I just did. They could ask you how much would the external benefit be? That's taking this line, the market line, straight up, and that, geez, like my eyes are bad. Looks like 812. So external benefit here would be 4. Could ask you the market, and again, if this is MPB, here is the market, so the market would be 8 and 8. Okay. Again, you need a subsidy because it's a positive externality. All right. So those are the type of questions I think you could see on that one. Scroll down to number 5. Okay, another graph, number 5. All right, if I'm going from private to social cost, I know it's a negative externality. It's a supply, so it's on the producer. Okay. And let's see. All right, so this would be marginal private cost, marginal social cost. And again, this is MSB or MPB. And again, the reason it's the same is there is no external. So marginal social cost is private cost plus external benefit. Rather, private cost plus external cost. So the marginal social cost, excuse me, is the marginal private cost plus the external benefit, which I get from taking the market line straight up. Like there would be the external benefit, that line right there. Okay. So which price and quantity the optimal? Right? The optimal is marginal social and the marginal social benefit intersecting. It's going to be one, and that's going to be B as in broccoli. Now, they could ask you the market, which would be P1QO. It's right here, P1QO. All right, that's from private sex. They could ask you the external benefit, which is this line here, P3 minus P1. Now, remember, the deadweight loss occurs before the tax. And if you want to get rid of this externality, you would tax however external cost is. And I might have called it an external benefit before, but it's an external cost. All right, so you're going to tax whatever the external cost is. And that gets rid of the deadweight loss and gets you to the optimal. They ask, are we under or over allocating? Okay, we are over allocating the market because you're a QO and I was Q1. All right, now this chart, a little challenging in a way for number 6. Let me just erase this, clean this up. Right, clean it up. Now, scroll down. All right. So I see private value, right? Private cost, external cost. As soon as I see external cost, no, it's negative externality, right? Now, when private value equals private cost, it's the market equilibrium. The market equilibrium is going to be quantity 3. 12 equals 12. When private cost plus external cost is marginal social cost. Right? Now, private value, since it's the only thing, the private benefit, it's the same as marginal social benefit. So when the private value equals private cost external cost, that's the optimal. So I get 2, I get 11 plus 2 is 13, 13 equals 13. That's optimal. Okay. So how large would a corrective tax need? Well, here's the external cost. We know that tax has to be equal to the external cost to get rid of the deadweight loss and make it socially optimal. The answer is going to be 6A, 2. Now, I gave you some other things they could ask. They could ask, what is the market quantity? That again would be 12 equal 12. Private value equals private cost. They could ask, what is the optimal? That's private value equals private cost plus external cost. and that would be 13 equals 11 plus 2. They could ask what type of externality. It's negative because we have an external cost, and that would make it a negative externality. Okay. All right, let's scroll down here, see if we can. All right, another graph for question 7. All right, I'm going to look at the graph. First thing I go, private to social cost. All right, I got a negative externality where private cost and private benefit intersect, which is Q3. I know that's the market where MSC and MPV, which would be really MSV, also intersect at Q2. I know that's the optimal. All right. I know that there's an external cost. If I take Q3 straight up from the market equilibrium up to the marginal social cost, that's how big my external cost is, and that's the base of my triangle for deadweight loss. If this market is currently producing at Q2, Q2 is my optimal, then total economic well-being would increase. No, we don't. D stayed at Q2. We're at the optimal. Now, what else could they ask? They could ask if you were at Q1, what would you like to do to be optimal? You'd like to increase quantity. They could say Q3 or Q4, you'd want to decrease quantity, right? And why? Q1, if you look up, benefit is greater than the cost. So you always want to increase when benefit's greater than cost. Q4, marginal social cost is greater than the benefit. You want to decrease. Okay? All right, number 8. Which of the following statements is correct? Government should tax goods with negative externalities and subsidize goods with positive. Okay? We know that. Positive externalities have external benefits and negative externality have external costs. All right. Number 9. All right. Now, if the government wanted to reduce pollution from 16 units to 6, so they're trying to get rid of 10 units. Now, how do I know how to do this? So let's just look at A, because this is trial and error. If the government's giving me $67 to get rid of first unit of A, the second. It cost 82 to get rid of the third. I only have 67. I could get rid of the third. I can't get rid of 68. I only have 67. I could get rid of C1 and 2 because they're both under 67. And I could get rid of D1. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I got rid of 6 units. I'm trying to get rid of 10 because I'm trying to go from 16, which is the whole table, to only 6. All right. Now, I'm going to go to the answer, so we don't have to just go through every one and go through. The answer is D, 83. At 83, I could get rid of 1, the first unit across the board, right? 83 is greater than all of them. It's greater than the second unit across the board also. It's greater than A3, B3 no, C3 yes, D3 no, and none of the fourth. If you notice, I got rid of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I got rid of 10 units. I went from 16 to 6. Now, all I could imagine then is like giving you different numbers and asking you how many units that would get rid of. All you do is, like if it was 68, you look at every number less than 68, and that's how many units of pollution you could eliminate. It's a hard problem if you don't think about it or see it at first, but now that we've went over it, I think you guys should be able to handle it fairly well. Okay? All right. Let's see, can we roll down here? No, not letting us. All right, we'll do this, and we'll try to scroll. All right, we got 10, 11, and 12. Suppose that smoking creates a negative externality. If the government imposes a per unit tax equal to the external cost, okay? All right, which means they're internalizing the cost. That means we're going to get to the optimum. So the answer is going to be C, after tax equilibrium, quantity of cigarettes smoked will equal the optimal. All right, that's what the tax is doing. It's getting us to the optimal. All right, number 11. All right, this is the Coase theorem in action. Ed, a writer, works from his house. Ed lives next door to Ricky, the drummer for a local band. Ricky needs lots of practice to turn his share of the profits, $250. Ed gets distracted by Ricky's drumming, but needs to get his writing done to earn $500 for his current article. If Ed needs to hire a lawyer to help him reach an agreement with Ricky, what price is Ed willing to pay? All right. Well, Ed cannot pay more than 500 because that's all his benefit. So it's got to be less than 500, which is C, Caroline. Something good for both of them would be Ed paying less than 500 and more than 250. So if he asks Ricky to stop drumming and he gives Ricky 251, Ricky's earning more money than he does normally, and Ed's losing less in cost. All right. Honey producers provide a positive externality to orchards because honey producers get more honey. That's not the third party, so that can't be the answer. The orchard owner frequently gets stung. Oh, that'd be a negative externality. The orchard owner does not have to purchase bees. No. So, all right, the honey produces, pollinates the flowers. So C, as in Caroline, is the answer. Okay, I hope this breakdown helped. If any questions, feel free to email me.